They pride themselves on being relationship-focused and value helping individuals, families, businesses, and communities succeed. Lighthouse, live confidently. And also, ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder for you tonight. We are very happy to have everyone back here at DeVos Fieldhouse once again. However, we do ask that you please wear a mask at all times and wear it properly over your nose and mouth throughout your visit here to Hope College today. As always, we thank you for ensuring a safe environment for all of us.
I look better than what I've been through, yeah. It's a celebration, hey, cause we made it out the basement, hey. Stay hungry, stay patient, hey. Then we made it out the basement, yeah.
Diamonds, you can spot them in my ear. I'm at the jeweler, I ain't copper from the beers. Louis luggage at the bottom of the Lear. Hotter than the summer hits, I got them for the year. Cash doll, I'm popping, I ain't never flowing whack. Oh, you scared to cop it, what you scared to blow a stack? Me and Sean, we chillin' in the stew, we blowing back. And failure's not an option, I ain't never going back. I took a detour, had to keep learning. He a D-boy, you a cheap version. Do arenas now, like we pre-sermon. I'm a D-girl, so I'm determined.
Ready, set, better yet. Got this rockin' like we never left. Big time, big time. All she want from me is just a little time. Flooded out the venue, hey. I look better than what I've been through, yeah. It's a celebration, hey. Cause we made it out the basement, hey. Stay hungry, stay patient, hey. Then we made it out the basement.
Hold up. Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, yeah. Get out the way, yeah. You either with me or against me, though. You either with me or win. Curve everything else. Win. These ops ain't lit. Win. Start chasing that chip. Win. Big J Rocco on 10. Exit at 4. Bring friends. Black two dough. Jump in. You might wanna keep score. I win. Forearm tattoos. That's why. All of them gon' shoot. Don't try. I walk in room. They eyes wide. Third album come soon. I'm glad y'all gon' die. I ain't chasing after no. I got bigger plans than staying rich. I've been tap dancing since I was 6. I tap dance all on a brick. And your diamonds like tap water. That drip way too foggy. These VVS is way awesome. Pork CLS for baby mama. Drop to your death without warning. Get out the way, yeah. Get out the way, get out my way, yeah. You either with me or against me.
Prada and Gucci don't go together. Louis and Dior, I swear go better. He wear my drip, but I wear it better. Kalani gang, I swear go wetter, huh? Gang, on go mode. I should get a chain for the promo. Gang.
The level is just too advanced. The bezel is Tiffany stamp. Don't grip on my hand. I know that I came with the slide from left to right, but now I don't wanna dance. I got too much on the line, too much on my mind, too much ain't enough for my plans. Like you don't
Hey, this that Eastside Johnny Big Redemption like. Know what I'm talking about? Hold up. Whoa. Get out the way, yeah. You either with me or against me, though. You either with me or win. Curve everything else. Win. These ops ain't lit. Win. Start chasing that chip. Win. Big J Rocco on 10. Exit at 4. Bring friends. Black two dough. Jump in. You might wanna keep score. I win. Forearm tattoos. That's squad. All of them gon' shoot. Don't try. I walk in room. They eyes wide. Third album come soon. I'm glad y'all gon' die. I ain't chasing after no. I got bigger plans than staying rich. I've been tapped in in since I was 6. I tap dance all on a brick. And your diamonds like tap water. That drip way too foggy. These VVS is way awesome. Park CLS for baby mama. Drop to your death without warning. Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, yeah. You either with me or against me though. You either with me or win. Win, 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 win. Curve everything else. Win, 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 win. These ops ain't lit. Win, 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 win. Start chasing that chip. Win, 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 win. You clowns really don't stay outside when I play outside. I put the beats on them like drow side. I got the bounce side and that loud side. And if you act bad, I bring the cow side. Go and get your money, bitch. None of my hitters on some funny shit. I can tell real by who you're running with. I'm all in the field, duck hunch. Hit my plug just to re-up and he was like, boop. Here. Migo knew just what it was, flipped the whole dub and gave it back, boop. Yeah. 9/11, no malice, baby. 9-ball with no violence, baby. My trigger finger got callous, baby. My bare knuckles got talent, baby. I'm all in the wind with it. On deuce line, I've been with it. She too fine, I've been hit it. Crashed 2 times, I limo tinted my new ride. I'm riding with the toaster. 12 better not pull me over. Championship going dumb. Nothing to something I won.
She fill my mind up with ideas. I'm the highest in the room. Hope I make it out of here. She saw my eyes, she know I'm gone. I see some things that you might fear. I'm doing a show, I'll be back soon. That ain't what she wanna hear.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask you to please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Gentlemen, and welcome to the DeVos Fieldhouse on the campus of Hope College for game number 3 of the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Classic. Tonight's featured teams are the Knights of Calvin University and the Cornerstone University Golden Eagles. Here are tonight's starting lineups. First for the Knights at 1-4, a 6'5" senior from Bristol, Indiana, number 22, Luke Morrison. And at 1 forward for the Eagles, a 6'5" senior from Lapeer, number 1, Drew Knickerbocker. At 1 forward for the Knights, a 6'6" senior from Grand Rapids, number 24, Emmett Warners. And at 1 forward for the Eagles, a 6'8" senior from Wayland, number 15, Carter Knight. Starting at center for the Knights, a 6'4" sophomore from Huntley, Illinois, number 0, Uchenna Egakezi. And at center for the Golden Eagles, a 6'9" junior from Wayland, number 30, Corey Ainsworth. At 1 guard for the Knights, a 6'1" senior from Ada, number 14, Thad Szymanski. And at one guard for the Golden Eagles, a 6'3" senior from Westmont, Illinois, number 0, Johnny Struby. And at the final guard spot for the Knights, a 6'4" senior from Beloit, Wisconsin, number 21, Alec Fruin. And at the final guard spot for the Golden Eagles, a 5'9" senior from Grand Rapids, number 3, Christian Rodriguez. Calvin University is coached by Bill Saul. Cornerstone University is coached by Kim Elders. Your officials this evening, Corey DeGroot, Doug Diekman, and Corey Smith.
And number 30, Corey Ainsworth. It's Struby with the ball. Free throw line extended left wing. Feeds it to Knight, top of the key. Twirling to the free throw line. Picks up his dribble. Pivoting around. Feeds it to Rodriguez. 10 on the shot clock. Rodriguez steps in. Mid-range jumper. In and out. No good. Ball is volleyballed around. Struby gets it. Floats it back up. Alligator armed it. Volleyballed around again to Ainsworth. And the third attempt dribbles off the front of him. No good. And the Knights get the rebound and the run out. Calvin comes into tonight's game 5-1. Cornerstone is 8-3. With the ball now is Warners. Dribbles into the paint with a head fake. Tries to float it up over the outstretched reach of Ainsworth, and he swats it away. Looking for our first points, 1 minute in. A feed down low and a quick touch pass out to Knickerbocker for a right corner three that's short. Struby skies for the weak side rebound. Kicks it back out top of the key to Rodriguez. Gets a screen. Steps back. Fades over to Knipe. Knipe overhead toss to Struby. Ball reversal left side to Knickerbocker. Knickerbocker facing the man-to-man. Goes back between the circles to Struby for an NBA range three. That's nothing but net.
3 points.
Gets our scoring started this evening. 3-0 Cornerstone. Glad to have you along here again. Night number 2 of the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Classic. Cornerstone looking for a win. Calvin looking to go 2-0 on the weekend. And we get a traveling violation there as double clutching the pass was Emmett Warners, and Cornerstone will get it right back. Cornerstone comes out of the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference. They're 4-1 in conference play. Calvin has yet to play a conference affair. Here's Rodriguez with the ball. Feeds it over to Struby, left side of the floor. Floats it top of the key to Knipe. Picks up his dribble right side, a bounce feed in the mid-post right side to Ainsworth. Looking weak side, couple of fakes, straight away, good ball fake by Struby. Steps into the free throw line, jumper off the heel. And collecting the rebound for the Knights is Luke Morrison. Streamlines ahead through the traffic, and he travels on a kick out. Had an opportunity there to probably scoop it up and in there as he ripped his way through the traffic, but he wanted to kick it out, but traveled in the process. Couple of turnovers from the Knights early in this one. 3-0 Cornerstone, 2 minutes in. Here's Struby with the ball right side of the floor. Surveying, crosses over, a bounce feed to Knickerbocker in the corner, down low, good post positioning by Ainsworth, a drop step, hooks it up off the small square, and in. It's 5-0 Cornerstone. Good start for the Golden Eagles, again only coming off a 69-point effort offensively. Here's Shermansky with the ball. Feeding to the curler, now a good kick out. 3 ball is airballed, left corner from Egakeza. Here comes Cornerstone on the trail. Knipe steps into a deep 3 straight away. No. Offensive rebound by Ainsworth, puts it back up, and it's blocked nicely by Warners. Still 5-0 Cornerstone. Warners now in transition. Feeds it to the trailer. Left wing 3 is over the backboard and strong by Luke Morrison. Had a good look, but he couldn't cash in. Bill Saul's the head coach of the Knights for Calvin University, and Kim Elders, season 29 for him for Cornerstone. A couple of subs checking in here for Calvin. Cornerstone keeps the same starting 5 out there. About 3 minutes in, to game number 1. Game number 2 will feature the host school, Hope College, taking on Aquinas. Here's a feed to Rodriguez, top of the key, hunches over. Hesitation dribble to the wing right side. Drifts back outside the three-point arc. Feeds it down low to Ainsworth. Backing down the defender. Picks up his dribble. Needs to feed it somewhere. Pivoting around. Steps underneath. Scoops it up with the left hand. Off the front of the rim. No good. Egakeza now down low behind the defense. Laying it up and in easily in transition is Jordan Ketchy, a senior. And that's the first bucket of the evening for the Knights. 5-2 Cornerstone. Here's Rodriguez now. Fancy dribbling. The program's all-time assist leader. Here's the high-low. Nice feed down low to Ainsworth. Keeps the pivot foot down. He's able to hook it up and in. Through a double team and through the timbers he went, and he was able to get it to go. Make it 7-2 Cornerstone. Ainsworth with 4 of the 7 for the Golden Eagles. Here's a rip through the traffic. Kick out. Left corner 3 is nothing but nylon. Splashed down by Alec Fruin on the assist from Luke Morrison. 7-5 Cornerstone as we're off to a pretty good start here tempo-wise. Here's Rodriguez. Knipe. Knickerbocker. Into the paint he goes. Whips it over. Left wing 3-ball sized up by Rodriguez. Off the heel. Ainsworth fights for it down low. Can't handle it, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Cornerstone. A couple of subs check in for Cornerstone. Trent Summerfield, as well as the high flyer, and I mean a high flyer, in Jack Joldersma. He's had a couple of highlight reel dunks so far this season. So Knights ball down by 2. Yo-yoing the dribble is Szymanski. Feeds it over to his teammate Fruin. Man-to-man defense here from Cornerstone. Fruin gets a screen from Ketchy. Angles over to the left side, picks up his dribble, now has to go between the circles to Morrison. Egakeza into the corner, Ketchy, Egakeza, ball reversal, left side, a ball fake, a dribble drive, trying to rip it through the traffic, but coughing it up out of bounds was Morrison. Tried to force it up there, and Cornerstone has some long, lanky players down low, including Knipe, Corey Ainsworth, to name a couple, and Calvin. They have a chance to try and stay in this one. Obviously, defensively, they got to lock it down. But they'll also have to use their perimeter shooting effectively. From what I read, Calvin missed their last 11 three-pointers of the game last night, but they still won it pretty convincingly over Aquinas. Beat them by 18, so doesn't matter how big of a team you are. If you can knock down your shots early, you can put the opposition under duress. And speaking of defense, here's a steal by Morrison, trying to go coast to coast. Leans in, missed it off the heel in transition. Joldersma with the rebound, feeds it to Rodriguez. 5 minutes into the game, step in transition 3 from Rodriguez, swirls out. Knipe an offensive rebound, feeds it opposite block to Knickerbocker for an easy layup. Makes it 9-5 Cornerstone there. Offensive rebounding paying dividends here for the Golden Eagles early in this one. Here's Egakeza now. Before the shot, he's fouled. I believe that's our first foul of the evening from either side. 14:41 to go here in the first half. And in for Cornerstone now comes the Australian Toby Woolcock. Baseline out of bounds here for Calvin. Floated in. Ketchy to Fruin. Left side of the floor to Morrison. Into the mid-post. Summerfield guarding. Szymanski picks up his dribble. Now he'll square up. Fade-away jumper. Gets the soft touch off the side of the rim and drops. 9-7 Cornerstone. Here's Rodriguez quickly back the other way. To the left side. Woolcock, Joldersma, Knipe. One-on-one in the mid-post against Fruin. Knipe whips it back out. Joldersma. Rodriguez, left side of the alley. Scoops it up beautifully, but it dances off. Rebounded by the Knights, down by a pair. Egakeza now to the trailer. Morrison gets the screen. Szymanski, couple of jab steps, a ball fake. Fades away with the jumper, right corner, missed it, but an offensive rebound chased down nicely by Ketchy. And they'll feed it to him down low, backing down Joldersma with a bunny hook shot, and he gets it to go, ties the game up at 9. Cornerstone quickly back the other way. Here's Summerfield. Summerfield. Right-handed dribble, gets a screen from Knipe. Picks up his dribble, top of the key, over to Joldersma. Joldersma, Woolcock, ball reversal. Summerfield to Knipe in the high post to Rodriguez. Rodriguez on the pick and roll, and the pass is over the head of Knipe and turned over. It'll go back to Calvin. Just past the 6.5-minute mark of this one. Like I said, tempo-wise, good flow from both sides to start this one off. Here's Egakeza now. The sophomore drifting to the left side. A bounce feed down low. Nice pass to the coach Szymanski, and he runs it up and in on the assist from Emmett Warners. Former teammates, if I'm not mistaken, at Grand Rapids Christian. First lead of the night for Calvin. Now we get a turnover from Trent Summerfield for Cornerstone. And Corey Ainsworth immediately comes back in for the Golden Eagles for Carter Knipe. Not much there on the replay, but they said he shuffled the feet when he caught the basketball. 11-9 Calvin. 7 minutes in. Here's Szymanski. Into the mid-post. Warner's backing down Wolcock, and they're going to call an offensive foul apparently on Warner's. Apparently he pushed off, used the off-arm chicken wing technique. So one team foul aside. And Cornerstone will get it back down by a pair. And Christian Rodriguez handling the ball leads the team in points per game at just over 21. Here's Joldersma now, goes baseline. Kick opposite, Wolcock, good ball fake. Floats it up on the run, right side, missed it short though, and the rebound caroms out to Ketchy. Here's Morrison now, graduate student, trying to fend off Joldersma. Has to kick it out. Swung over left side. Egakeza into the mid-post, and I think that's a reach-in against Wolcock, and it is. Stays 11-9, Calvin. Subs will check in on both sides. Second team foul against Cornerstone. Calvin is led scoring-wise by Luke Morrison, 21 points per game. Thad Szymanski, second leading scorer, a couple ticks under 15 a game. Here's Warner's now, again backing down Wolcock, tries to hook it over Ainsworth, and he was hit. In the act of shooting, he'll get a couple of free throws here.
Cornerstone foul number 30.
Cornerstone is led offensively, Rodriguez. A tick above 21 a game. Carter Knipe with 14.5, and Corey Ainsworth 13 a game. Lefty misses the first free throw. That's Warner's for Calvin. He'll get one more. Keeps it 11-9. One more coming up here. Bends the knee slightly, lets it fly, and he swirls it home, makes it 12-9 Calvin. Cornerstone in a little bit of an offensive rut here, some 1-2-2. Three-quarter court, trapping pressure after the make. Knickerbocker tries to go middle of the floor, and it's tapped away and intercepted. Back the other way on the run, laying it up and in, is Alec Fruin, another graduate student out of Beloit, Wisconsin. And it's now, I believe it should be 14-9. The scoreboard is incorrect. Cornerstone this time breaks the pressure. Here's Knickerbocker over to Joldersma. Free throw line to Ainsworth. Through a double team. Gets the pass. Spins in the lane. Nice up and under move, and he lays it up and in. Now it's 14-11. We can reset. Stops the mini spurt for Calvin. Ainsworth was 6 of the 11 for Cornerstone. With the ball now is Fruin. Fires a pass top of the key. Now Fruin gets the return feed, curls into the lane. A jump pass to nobody in particular. It's deflected and stolen by Wolcock. Wolcock in transition. Jogs top of the key. Summerfield. Knickerbocker. Head fake. Right side three ball. He'll launch it. Miss it strong. Ball caroms out to the free throw line. Collected by Eli Sensenega Jr. out of Grays Lake, Illinois. Szymanski steps in, rises for the mid-range jumper, and he splashes it down. Foot on the line. Makes it 16-11 Calvin with 11 to go here in the first half. In perimeter shooting, Calvin. They were hot early yesterday, and they're off to a pretty good start here tonight. Here's Wolcock. Floats it. The low block. Ainsworth one-on-one. Backing down. Steps back with a hook shot. No, but he's fouled. He'll get a couple of free throws. 10:50 to go here in the first half. Hey fans, the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame honors prominent West Michigan athletes and those who have contributed greatly to sports on a local, state, or national level. As part of their mission, the Hall of Fame presents annual events in support of West Michigan athletes and raises funds to support local youth organizations and charities. The Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Classic is brought to you by Lighthouse, and Alara Group Company is a trusted resource in managing risk and insurance needs. They pride themselves on being relationship-focused and value helping individuals, families, business, and communities succeed. Lighthouse, live confidently. Ainsworth short on the first. He'll get one more. Stays a 5-point Calvin advantage. Second free throw for Ainsworth. Pretty good shooter for a big man as he splits the pair. Makes it a 4-point game in favor of Calvin. Pretty good crowd on hand for game number 1 of night number 2 of the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Classic. Here's a step back. Egakeza now, Euro steps, skips it out. Right side 3 ball off the wing is just a little strong from Alec Fruin, and Knickerbocker chases down the rebound. He whips into the corner. Woolcock sizes up the left corner 3 in transition and knocks it down. Gets it down to a 1-point game. Nobody accounted for him in transition. Now here's a little shimmy move and a backdoor cut, reversing the layup and missing it though is Marcus Bolt. And we get a loose ball foul against Calvin, if I'm not mistaken. They're going to call it against Jordan Catchy. 3 team fouls aside, and Cornerstone with an opportunity to get their lead back. And looks like Bolt was just a little out of control there on that replay. Going full speed, trying to reverse that up over a couple of Golden Eagles. Luke Rollinson into the game for Cornerstone. Here's Woolcock, overhead toss. A little high-low. Rodriguez to Ainsworth, rips through a double team, floats up, and that curls off no good. Boy, he's had a couple of great looks. Hasn't gotten half of those to drop, it seems like. Here comes Calvin now, halfway through the first. With a shoulder shake is Morrison. Hands it off right wing to Bolt. Ball reversal, Egakeza. Tries to use the screen. Good job by Rodriguez to fend him off. Egakeza now twirling into the paint. Has to go right side of the floor on the kick out to Fruin. With 10 on the shot clock, Fruin hands it off. Stepping into a line drive 3, missing it short, though, straight away is Morrison. And the Golden Eagles get the rebound. Here's Rodriguez on a quick run out. This is what he does. Fires it over to Knickerbocker. A ball fake, a dribble drive. Scoops it up, hit the top of the backboard, follows it back up, and lays it up and in. Persistence pays off for Knickerbocker. Cornerstone has the lead 17-16, and a timeout is going to be called by Calvin with 9:24 to go in the first half here from Hope College. Hey fans, the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame presents annual events in support of West Michigan athletes and to raise funds to support local youth organizations and charities. Events scheduled include the GRS HOF College Basketball Classic on Thanksgiving weekend and the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Golf Classic on August 22nd at Thousand Oaks Golf Club. And the Class of 2022 induction ceremony in the fall. The Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Classic is brought to you by Lighthouse, an Alara Group company dedicated to building a positive team with a community spirit. They take pride in investing in their employees and their successes. Lighthouse rewards great ideas and hard work and is looking for team members who are passionate about helping people. If you have an entrepreneurial spirit and enjoy building relationships, they'd love to connect with you. Quick 30-second timeout for the Knights. Cornerstone on a little mini run of their own. Have their lead back at 17-16. It'll be Calvin basketball after the timeout. Sprinting ahead is Fruin, hands it off. Fruin gets the return feed. Looks around, picks up his dribble, a bounce feed into the mid-post, backing down Ainsworth was Catchy, has to fling it over right side. Morrison probes. Egakeza now through the defense, but his layup is blocked with authority by Ainsworth. Here's Rodriguez now searching ahead. Now pivots back out, and he'll regroup. 1-point Golden Eagles lead here. Here's a double ball screen to the left. Rodriguez sidesteps left side, a hook pass to Knickerbocker. Knickerbocker on the high low to Ainsworth, finds him on the size mismatch, and that's a foul on the layup attempt. Yeah, Egakeza reached his hand into the cookie jar. Back to the charity stripe for Cornerstone is Corey Ainsworth. Clear plan of attack here for Cornerstone is to feed the big man down low with the size mismatch. Corey Ainsworth has found a bevy of success so far as Ainsworth knocks down the first of 2. For those of you who don't know, Cornerstone's out of the NAIA Division II circuit. Calvin, Division III team. Both Calvin and Hope in the same conference in Division III, while Aquinas and Cornerstone are out of the WAC conference in the NAIA circuit. Cornerstone has already played Aquinas once and beat them at Aquinas not too long ago. Here's a step-in jumper contested by Morrison. That's off the heel, no good. And Rodriguez chases down the rebound for Cornerstone into the front court. Stepping in, transition 3 is Knickerbocker, and that spins home. Drew Knickerbocker. Another transition 3 for the Golden Eagles, and the lead is sprouted to 6. Calvin in need of an answer now. Here's Catchy. Between the circles, looking around. Chest pass over left side of the floor to Fruin. Gets a screen from Catchy. Fruin picks up his dribble. A bounce feed. Egakeza. Into the mid-post it goes. Catchy trying to back down Ainsworth. Turns the corner. Runs it up there. Missed it. Had a good look. Couldn't get it to go. Here's Knickerbocker now with a high dribble. Between the legs, crosses over, back to Rodriguez. Rodriguez down the chute he goes, has to step back out, uses a screen, a bounce feed over to Rowlandson. Back to Rodriguez, 15 on the shot clock. Around the horn it goes to Knickerbocker. To Rodriguez, straightaway 3-ball. Off the front of the rim, no good, and collected by Catchy of Calvin. Still a 6-point Cornerstone lead. Dribble handoff, Egekeza now with it. Can't turn the corner. Goes over left side on the handoff, a ball fake, Warner's, a dribble drive. A hook pass. Egekeza now, under duress, has to feed it back out. 10 on the shot clock. Good defense from Cornerstone. A contested 3 right wing is no good. Fruin launched it. Offensive rebound, though. Saved along the baseline by Catchy. Coming up on 7 to go here in the first half. Here's Warner's now. Knickerbocker daring him to shoot it, but he passes it off. Fruin hesitates to the right corner, now to the baseline, a jump pass out, head fake, dribble drive. Warner's with the shot clock expiring, and he gets to go off the small square. Good defense by Cornerstone, better offense by Emmett Warner's at Calvin. It's a 4-point Golden Eagles lead at 22-18. Rodriguez now with a hesitation. Ball's poked out of his hands. He gets it back to Knickerbocker between the circles. Knickerbocker regrouping to Rodriguez, right elbow. Tries to feed it back out to Woolcock, and it's off a night, and it'll stay with Cornerstone as a hockey line change comes in for the Golden Eagles to just 1 for Calvin. They'll be inbounded in kind of a unique spot here, right in the corner at the end of the Calvin bench. Joldersma will do the honors here. Being shadowed there by, I believe, Luke Morrison. Gets it into Rodriguez, 8 on the shot clock. Steps back, hoists the 3, and that missed everything. Not sure if it touched the rim. Nevertheless, Calvin gets the defensive stop and the basketball back. So here comes Thad Szymanski. Over to Egekeza. With a crossover. Hits the deck, and the ball's ripped right out of his hands by Rodriguez. Rodriguez back the other way to Struby. Hits the brakes. Back out to Rodriguez. They'll reset with 6 to go. Over to Joldersma. Joldersma hunches over to Struby, right wing. Free throw line extended. Struby, a bounce feed. Free throw line knife. Backdoor to Joldersma. Tried to force it up there. No, he wanted the dunk. But Egekeza said, no, you're going to have to earn it at the free throw line. And Joldersma will get a couple of free throws. Good movement there off the ball by Cornerstone on that possession. Egekeza was just kind of caught in the wash there in the middle of the floor. And as a result, Joldersma will get a couple of free throws. First free throw is pure. Egekeza is going to have to come out. That's his second personal 15 foul against Calvin. It is 3 for Cornerstone. One more here for Joldersma. Product of Hudsonville. Sidewinding free throw. He gets them both. And the lead's back up to 6 for Cornerstone. That's been their biggest of the night. Here's Szymanski now for the Knights. Looking for a response. Over to Fruin. Fruin fires a pass right side to Morrison to Szymanski. Szymanski hunches over, being shadowed by Rodriguez. He hedges him off. Has to feed it over to Fruin. Back to Szymanski. Gets a good look at the straightaway 3. That's off to the left. No good. Tapped out of bounds. It'll go to Cornerstone, apparently. Or wait, no, it's going to stay with Calvin. My mistake. They pointed at a Golden Eagle. That indicates who touched the ball last. Close one. Goes in favor of the quote-unquote visitors here tonight. Szymanski now, overhead feed. Ooh, almost picked up by Joldersma. If he gets in the clear, look out. He's going to try and throw one down with authority. Now here's a pull-up jumper. Missed by Morrison. And Cornerstone on the quick run out. Here's Summerfield with a head fake in transition. Straightaway knife. He'll launch for 3. That's short. Ball is tapped out. Who was it last touched by? Well, it's going to be touched by Cornerstone. Struby tried to save it. And Calvin will get it back down by 6 in what has turned into all of a sudden a defensive struggle here at DeVos Fieldhouse on this Saturday evening. Here's Fruin. Szymanski right wing. Szymanski goes to the corner. His kick-out pass is deflected and stolen by Rodriguez. Rodriguez now to Joldersma. Joldersma is going to scoop it up and in. He wanted the dunk. He kind of flashes a wry smile. Cornerstone's lead is up to 8. Szymanski. Cross-court feed to Bolt into the corner. To Morrison, straight away, 3 ball is good by Marcus Bolt. Boy, Calvin needed that, gets it down to 5. Now Rodriguez, a hook pass down low on the 2-man gain to Carter Knipe. He lays it up and in, much to the chagrin of Bill Saul of Calvin. That was beautifully done there by Cornerstone on the pick and roll. 7-point lead for the Golden Eagles. Here's Eli Sensenig. Hands it off. Now a skip pass. Left side 3 ball. That's off the connector. No good by Fruin. And Cornerstone gets the loose ball. Under 4 to go in the first half. A fast-moving first half. Rodriguez crosses over. Steps back. 3 ball is good. Straight away by Christian Rodriguez. Lead is up to 10. The biggest of the night. And Calvin, I believe, wants to use another timeout. And they will. Christian Rodriguez with his first bucket of the evening, and the Golden Eagles have their biggest lead of the night at 31-21. Hey fans, the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Classic to benefit GR8 Sports Great Kids is August 22nd at Thousand Oaks Golf Club. Proceeds from the event help fund kindergarten through 8th grade sports in Grand Rapids Public Schools. Various player and sponsorship opportunities are available. To learn more about the event, visit the Hall of Fame's website at grshof.com or check out their Facebook page. The Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Classic is brought to you by Lighthouse, which was recently awarded as a Best and Brightest in Wellness winner for their holistic approach in helping employers build valuable and cost-effective wellness strategies. They are proud to have received this honor for the 2nd consecutive year. Congratulations on a job well done. So Cornerstone enjoying their biggest lead of the night so far, late in the first half by 10. Calvin's burned a couple of timeouts here in the first half, and their offense, after a pretty good start in the first half of this opening frame, has kind of stalled out a little bit. Here's Szymanski now for the Knights. Over to Warners, down low to the baseline cutter, kick out, dribble drive, teardrop is partially blocked there by the high-flying Joldersma on the attempt there. I believe that was Fruin. Cornerstone with the basketball back. Around the horn it goes to Struby. Struby straight away to Joldersma, fires a pass over to Summerfield with a ball fake to Joldersma, tried to feed it down low, deflected nicely to Carter Knipe for an uncontested layup. And when it's going right, and the lead's up to 12 now for Cornerstone. Szymanski now curls right side, stops at the elbow, a bounce feed down low. Now back to Szymanski, and he lays it up and in on the assist from Jordan Ketchy. Back down to 10 with under 3 to go. Here's Rodriguez now. Hesitation. Crosses over. Right side. And a reach-in foul is going to be called against Calvin. That's their 6th of the half. The next one will put Cornerstone in the 1-and-1.
Calvin foul number 30, Jordan Ketchy, has his 2nd.
That is 2 now on Jordan Ketchy. So you got him and Uchenna Egekeza, each with 2 personals for the Knights. Inbounded to Knipe to Joldersma. Joldersma to Struby, back in the corner. Around the horn it goes to Rodriguez with a shoulder shake, a hesitation. Turns the corner to Joldersma to Struby. Struby gets into the paint, floats it up there off the heel, no. Struby gets the rebound. Back out to Rodriguez for a deep 3. Right ring is good again. And we get a whistle. And what do we got? Egekeza is limping off to the bench. Might have stepped on someone's foot. It's now a 13-point lead for Cornerstone with 2.5 to go here in the first half. So after that, Calvin will have the ball. Here's Warners looking around. A bounce feed. Szymanski through the traffic tried to wrap it around a Golden Eagle looking for Ketchy, but it hits a Golden Eagle off the back of the leg and out of bounds. 17 on the shot clock. Baseline out of bounds. Szymanski will float it in to Warners. Free throw line. Ketchy. Being guarded there by Ainsworth, a pair of 30s. Gets it over to Fruin. To Szymanski under 10. Side steps to Fruin. Fruin over to Morrison. Has to launch the 3 ball. That pops out no good. Ball is loose on the deck. Who wants it? Bodies hit the floor. And what do we got? Apparently they're going to call a loose ball foul against Summerfield down low. They said he apparently extended his leg. On the replay, well, a couple of guys fighting for the ball, and sometimes a call goes against you. Here's a fadeaway left corner, 3 by Szymanski, and he splashes it down. That was pretty there from Thad Szymanski. Gets it back down to 10. He's got 11 of the 26 for Calvin. He's a sharpshooter. Here's Knipe now. Trying to drive by through the traffic. It's fended off by Fruin. Free throw line to Ainsworth. Ainsworth. Now he'll put it on the deck with a drop step again, and he missed the layup on the follow. No, but he's roughed up and fouled to get a couple of free throws. Again, offensive rebounding has been a problem for Calvin to defend against here in this game so far. The size for Cornerstone is giving them fits. So 2 more free throws here for Corey Ainsworth. Playing in his 9th game, and ooh, that one was short on for sure. That thing had no arc whatsoever. Corey Ainsworth was battling an ankle injury. Cornerstone, this is a team that has been battling multiple injuries right from the get-go of the season, but they have Corey Ainsworth back along with a couple other players, and they're starting to get a little more healthier here as the holidays approach, as Ainsworth splits the pair. A lot of ankle injuries or knee problems before the season even began for Cornerstone. They have an 11-point lead with 90 seconds to go. Twirling around his Warners. Thinks about the 3. Doesn't want to shoot it. Wants to pass it off. And what do we got? They're going to call a hold and a foul against Cornerstone. That's only their 4th team foul, but that's 2 on Knickerbocker, and Luke Rowlandson's going to come in for him, I believe. And he will, with 80 seconds to go here in this fast-moving first half. It's taking about a half hour. It's good flow. Szymanski into Warners. Warner's looking to hand it off to Szymanski. Can't do it, so he'll try and back down Knipe in the low block. Muscles his way deep into the paint, and he lays it up and in right side. Powerful move there from Emmett Warners. Coming up on a minute to go. Here's Rowlandson. Tosses it between the circles to Rodriguez, to Toby Wocock. To Knipe, to the cutter on the back door, and that's easy pickings for Christian Rodriguez. Great ball movement again by Cornerstone. 39-28. Szymanski now with a shoulder shake, gets by Rodriguez, tries to float it up over Knipe. That's nothing doing. Big length mismatch there as Knipe erased that immediately. Rodriguez now sizing up the defender, goes baseline, feeds it to Rowlandson. Layup is no good, but he's fouled as it crawled off the front of the rim. Nevertheless, Rowlandson will get a couple of free throws with 35 seconds to go here in the first half.
That is his 2nd, team's 8th.
So Rowlandson, a freshman out of Huron, Ohio, to the charity stripe for a couple. And he is nothing but nylon on the first free throw. He'll get 1 more. Cornerstone's now reached 40 points here in this game. Last night they only had 69. Second free throw is also good. Back to a 13-point lead. Biggest of the night here for Cornerstone. About a 4-second differential. Shot to play clock. And Calvin will burn it down as far as they can. Here's Fruin walking it left side. Down to 15 on the shot clock. Coach Saul says we got to go here. Here's Szymanski, 10 on the shot clock. Szymanski gets hedged off there nicely by Wocock, but he's able to keep his dribble. Feeds it left corner. A ball fake and a step-in mid-range jumper is short. Tapped around. Ainsworth gets it. Outlets to Rodriguez. 2 seconds. 1. Got to let it go. He does at the buzzer, and it's off the connector. Almost got it to drop, and we are at the half here at DeVos Fieldhouse on the campus of Hope College, and Cornerstone has a 41-28 lead over Calvin University. The Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame class of 2021 reflected a broad spectrum of the area's sports history, with Tia Brooks Wanamaker, an Olympian who first starred at East Kentwood High School, Kelly Butler, a former NFL lineman who launched his career at Grand Rapids Union High, Beth Lanier, a Northview High graduate and highly successful volleyball coach at the University of Utah. Tom Workmeister of Hudsonville, a dominant amateur golfer, now playing professional golf. Bob Kaiser, the Grand Rapids Griffins award-winning broadcaster and vice president, who earned the Warren Reynolds Lifetime Achievement Award and the 5 consecutive state football championship teams from East Grand Rapids from 2006 to 2010. They were inducted in late September, and it brought the number of inductees to 175. The Hall of Fame is showcased via plaques and portable screen touch walls at Van Andel Arena. The 2022 class will be announced in the spring. Again, we're at the half in game number 1 here, night number 2 of the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Classic. Cornerstone on top of Calvin University, 41-28. I'm Brian Fongers. We'll take a little bit of a timeout, catch our breath when we come back. Second half action from game number 1 is coming your way next. Stay tuned.
My 32 years, I can look back at clients and realize that when I started with them in my mid-30s, I was one of many professionals in their life. But since then, their doctors retired, their attorneys retired, their ministers retired, all the key people in their life retired, but we're still there. And over time, we end up being very, very close to our clients. It's very hard to talk about your financial history without talking about your family history. We get to know it, we keep it confidential, and you can't help but begin to love these people.
We know it wasn't what you expected. An entire year filled with uncertainty, confusion, doubt, and tension. There was loss. There was pain. We all felt the fear and the grief. An entire year wondering, is this the new normal? Will everything be all right? Yet, it was also a year filled with determination, community, innovation, and resilience. When it seemed like all was lost, we found ourselves gaining new gifts, perspectives, and purpose. We found a new appreciation for a stranger's smile, stayed connected even from afar. We had time to learn something new or revisit an old love. This year reminded us to cherish our unity, our identity, rooted in Christ as we welcome an undefined future together. And so, we return to pushing the limits of human knowledge, pushing ourselves to unknown potential, to shared passions, pursuing wisdom, and passing on traditions. We're returning to wonder, to worship, to a world where hope has a new meaning. And though it was never really gone, hope is back. And hope changes everything.
You're not just saying, wow, you came in, thanks for coming in, and this is what your investment did. It's so much more than that. There's so much more going on in their lives than just these investments, and it's good to understand that totality so that you can say, well, I know there's a better way of doing this, or I have a resource. I know, there's some other resources that we can help you with here. So it's not just financial planning. It's serving people. It's serving people and loving on people, and that's very joyful.
Over the last several years, the museum's acquired a substantial collection of artworks made by artists from the Yoruba ethnic group in Nigeria. And when Ann Heath mentioned to me that she was thinking about teaching a seminar on African art, I thought it would be a great opportunity to get her and her students involved in researching our collection and figuring out a way to exhibit it.
We work with the Kreising Art Museum to help the director curate shows, exhibitions that he has on his schedule. and do the primary source research for him. And that will then turn out to be the labels, the wall texts, the catalogs for the works in the show.
This class offers an opportunity for experiential learning at the highest level. The discipline of art history is basically the study of artworks that allows us to build up an understanding of individual artists. Then from the understanding of individual artists, we build up an understanding of different schools and movements, and then from the understanding of those different schools and movements, we build up an understanding of entire historical periods.
I don't think I've ever done anything like this before. It was definitely eye-opening and super challenging. It's a lot harder because we're not finding books that give us the answers to our questions. We're not looking at people who have already analyzed the work. It's kind of like we're analyzing it ourselves, but also through the lens and perspective of the artists themselves and other artists at that time.
It's been difficult, but it's also been really rewarding. So like when you do find something, it's like finding finding the real gold amongst the fool's gold, and like actually like getting the thing you need. And it's so much more rewarding than being like, well, of course, like I have this book. But yeah, I've had to like take like some like different approaches, like definitely like researching deeper and like learning like don't give up, like you're gonna have to like try a lot harder.
They're an opportunity for students to really put their skills into action by doing research that's often primary source research. That means nobody has done it before. And so they have to learn that kind of detective skills on how do you go out and find information that isn't readily available. So they have to be creative in their thinking. They have to have a lot of initiative. They have to be nimble. And they certainly have to work together.
This is interesting because it's like working as a team. So even though like I'm writing my own paper on like Duli Ladipo and like Nigerian contemporary theater, I'm still like checking in with my classmates, and sometimes like we find stuff like, oh, like I found this JSTOR article, or I found this on ArtNet, like swapping. So it's interesting being part of like a research community.
Even if they don't go into the arts as a career, these kinds of experiences, project management, follow-through, collaboration, initiative, self-teaching, these are all the kinds of experiences that are going to hold them in good stead, whether they pursue a career in the arts or if they take opportunities outside of the arts. These kinds of, the kind of work they do in our department is completely relevant and helpful in lots of different career paths and vocations.
This is definitely not a typical undergrad art history course. This is much closer to graduate school work, or even to the kind of professional work that's done in museums and commercial art galleries. I've been a museum curator and director for more than 25 years now, and I've been involved over the course of my career in hiring dozens of people for jobs in museums. And the number one criteria is always whether they've done museum work before. And this course has given students that kind of background.
Lawrence and Vanderswart, we're interested in the history of our community. When 26-year-old jeweler Jacob Raven came to Holland in 1889, the northwest corner of 8th Street and River Avenue was already home to the thriving Holland City State Bank. Raven told bank personnel that he wanted to build a clock above the bank to keep the town on time, and it wouldn't cost them a cent. True to his word, Raven raised the funds with donations from merchants and local factories. High above the city streets, the tower was completed in 1892. Holland's clock tower still ticks high above 8th Street, watching over a town that still loves to run on time. Innovation and ambition today can pay dividends for decades. Lawrence and Vanderswart, interested in our history, invested in our future.
Hi Hope College. October 4th is a very special day where the entire Children's Miracle Network comes together to celebrate Child Health Day. Child Health Day is all about joining the Dance Marathon movement, raising funds for Children's Hospital, and sharing the message that kids can't wait. To start celebrating Child Health Day, we want to introduce you to one of our Miracle families. This is Amy and Mia Berarducci.
My name's Amy Berarducci, and I'm Mia's mom.
Hi, my name is Mia Berarducci. I've been doing Dance Marathon for 8 years.
16 years ago, this past September, Mia was had some issues, had trouble walking, and she struggled with some eyesight things and very shaky. So we took her to our doctor, and they immediately sent us up to Helen DeVos, and we spent many days there, and they treated her so well. They were so helpful. We just felt very at peace with what was going on in the midst of traumatic times. So throughout the next basically 8 years of her life, she had spent many appointments there at different times, and I can't say one time that was not super uplifting and very encouraging from them and from everybody that was custodian to the top doctors. They were awesome. They just have a great way about them, and we're so thankful. And because of that and all this care that we received, Mia is doing phenomenal today. She's 17 years old and thrives and still considers it DeVos her hospital when she goes with.
Hope students should sign up for Dance Marathon because they get to hang out with kids like me.
Spread the word because we want to make this the biggest marathon yet. So make sure to register on October 4th. Change kids' health
and change the future.
Kids can't wait!
Welcome back live to DeVos Fieldhouse on the campus of Hope College. Brian Fongers with you at the half of game number 1 and night number 2. The Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Classic. Right now it's Cornerstone on top of Calvin University. 41-28 is our halftime score. Breaking it all down real quickly here. Leading the way for the Knights at Calvin University, Thad Shemansky with 11 points on 5 of 8 shooting. Knocked down a triple. You got a couple other Knights with 5 points apiece in Emmett Warners and Alec Bruin. First half shooting for Calvin University, just a couple ticks under 39%, only shot 25% from the three-point line, only had 2 free throws to boot. For Cornerstone, they are led by Corey Ainsworth with 10, Christian Rodriguez has 8, and Drew Knickerbocker was 7. They were 5 of 12 from beyond the long line, good enough for just below 42%. In the first half, they shot about 42.5% from the field, 8 of 10 from the charity stripe. Turnover story, not much there. Cornerstone was 6 compared to 4 for Calvin. And points in the paint, Cornerstone with a slight favor in that one, 18-16. Second chance points, 11-7 in favor of Cornerstone, and the bench scoring 9-7 in favor of Cornerstone. Biggest lead of the night for Cornerstone has been 13. For Calvin, it's been 5. And after a pretty decent start for Calvin offensively, second half for the Knights on the offensive end didn't go so well. Cornerstone was able to lock them down defensively, and the offensive rebounding has really paid dividends for Cornerstone in that first half. 7 offensive rebounds for the Golden Eagles compared to just 2 for the Knights. And I think the rebound totals are a little skewed here, a little off. It says 22-4, or check that, I'm sorry, 22-15 in favor of Cornerstone. So nevertheless, Cornerstone does have a sizable advantage on the glass so far in this one. Teams will flip ends. Cornerstone in their white uniforms will be going left to right this time in the second half. Calvin in their road maroons will be going right to left. Looks like starting 5s out there for both sides that started the game. And it is going to be Calvin basketball to start off this second half. Thad Szymanski, Alec Fruin, Luke Morrison, Emmett Warners, and Uchenna Egekeza out there for Calvin, countered by Johnny Struby, Drew Knickerbocker, Christian Rodriguez, Carter Knipe, and Corey Ainsworth for the Golden Eagles as we are underway here in the second half. Here's Szymanski now probing the defense, leans into one from the left elbow, and he gets it to go. He's got 13 tonight, and that gets our scoring started here in this second half. See what kind of push the Knights have here in this second half, down by double figures. Rodriguez with a bounce feed to Struby. Tries to feed over to Knipe. It's deflected, and Knipe saves the possession. Tries to get it back over to Struby. Active hands. Falls into the lap of Rodriguez. Kick opposite. Knickerbocker for a good look at a three. That's strong from the left wing. And the rebound is collected by the Knights. Ahead to Egekeza. Behind the defense, and he lays it up and in. And they're off to a quick start. Gets the deficit down to single digits at 9. A lot of energy here from Calvin to start off this second half. Here's Rodriguez now walking it into the front court. Over to Knickerbocker. Trying to turn the corner. Fades away, straight away. Jumper inside the free throw line is good for Knickerbocker. 2 buckets for Calvin, 1 for Cornerstone here in the second half so far. Right corner with the ball is Morrison. Around the horn it goes to Szymanski. Steps in, mid-range jumper, missed it. And out of bounds, and was last touched by Knickerbocker apparently. It'll stay with the Knights. Again, Calvin coming into tonight 5-1, Cornerstone 8-3. Knickerbocker might have gotten his finger jammed, and my goodness, the Calvin bench. I think everybody on that bench wanted to come out and play, pleading for a call, and they get a holding foul against Knickerbocker. That's the 3rd on him. And he was trying to, almost looked like he was trying to pop his finger back into place. Not sure if he dislocated it there, trying to fight for that rebound. He's okay, though. He stays in with those 3 personals. Here's a head fake from Warners. Down the chute he goes, and he runs it up and in around Ainsworth. Got by him just enough to get a good look at the bucket. Back down to 9. Here's Rodriguez now. To Knickerbocker. Ainsworth fights down low with Warners. No call, play goes on. Ball reversal back to Rodriguez. Rodriguez sidesteps to the top of the key. Crosses over a couple of times. Left side of the alley, lost it. And it's going to stay with Cornerstone with 10 on the shot clock. You expected this from Calvin, to come out with a strong push out of the locker room. See what kind of response Cornerstone has here. Struby into Knipe. Lack of focus, and it slips right through his hands, and it's turned over. Here's Fruin now to the trailer. Warners, a head fake, a jump pass out. Szymanski to the free throw line. Back to Warners, and he'll hoist for 3. That's off in front of him, no good. Struby with the rebound for Cornerstone. 2 minutes into the second half. Struby angles left side to Knipe, straight away. Hands it off to Knickerbocker, fumbles it, gets it back. A couple of jab steps from him. One hand feed, Struby back to Knipe to the baseline cutter. There's Rodriguez for the easy layup. That play has worked a couple of times tonight, and Rodriguez is up to double figures at 10. Now here's a baseline drive, and laying it up and in is Morrison. Drove right by the Cornerstone defender. I believe that was Ainsworth. 9-point Golden Eagles lead. Here's Rodriguez now. Fades back out to Knipe. Knipe being hounded there by Egekeza. To Struby. Struby rises, mid-range jumper. That's strong. Knipe on the weak side rebound. Is able to tap it out to Knickerbocker, and the shot clock didn't reset quick enough apparently. They'll stay with Cornerstone. They'll reset the shot clock to 18, take a couple seconds off it. Knickerbocker will inbound on the sideline to Rodriguez. Rodriguez now hesitates down the left side, runs up there, erased by Egekeza. Good defense there by the Knights. In transition now, Fruin down low, Egekeza. Around Knickerbocker, no help, and he lays it up and in. It's down to 7. And Coach Elders wants to use a timeout, doesn't like what he sees. Coach Elders does not like to use his timeouts much during the game, and he senses his team has not come out of the locker room with a lot of energy. And he'll take one here to try and stem the tide. It's a 7-point Calvin lead. check that Cornerstone lead. Calvin has got it down to 7, 30-second timeout. Hey fans, the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame presents annual events in support of West Michigan athletes and to raise funds to support local youth organizations and charities. Events scheduled include the GRSHOF College Basketball Classic, which is happening this weekend, and the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Golf Classic on August 22nd at Thousand Oaks Golf Club. And the Class of 2022 induction ceremony in the fall. The Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Classic is brought to you by Lighthouse, an Alara Group company dedicated to building a positive team with a community spirit. They take pride in investing in their employees and their successes. Lighthouse rewards great ideas and hard work and is looking for team members who are passionate about helping people. If you have an entrepreneurial spirit and enjoy building relationships, they'd love to connect with you. Cornerstone ball after the timeout. Inbound at Joldersma into the game for Cornerstone for Knickerbocker to Rodriguez. Rodriguez picks up his dribble. Ball is almost stolen again. Cornerstone saves the possession. Joldersma ripping through a double team is Ainsworth, and he gets the soft touch off the connector, and it drops home. Gets it back up to 9 at 47-38, 3:30 into the second half. In the corner now with a ball fake. Sensenig, ball reversal to Szymanski now, picks up his dribble on the wing, a bounce feed, handing it off. There was Ketchy to Szymanski, and on the dribble drive, there's Sensenig. Gets bumped and fouled on the deck. It'll stay with the Knights out of bounds. Summerfield comes in for Christian Rodriguez.
Entering the lineup for Cornerstone, number 10, Trent Summerfield.
On the inbound, floated in. Szymanski to Ketchy, back to Szymanski, dribbling around in the right corner. Gets the return feed from Ketchy on the two-man game. Ketchy fumbles it, gets it back, has to go back out to Morrison. Morrison rises for the straightaway jumper, and he gets it to go over Ainsworth. Back down to 7, 47-40. Summerfield now races to the top of the key, dribbling around with it to Struby, right side. Struby to Summerfield. To Knipe. Looking for the post entry feed. He finally gets it to Ainsworth. Ainsworth back out. Knipe. 3-ball off the front of the rim. Tapped around out of bounds. It should stay with Cornerstone, and it will. Coach Saul for Calvin is none too pleased. Wanted an over the back call against Cornerstone. Nothing was called. The officials letting him play here in this game. Joldersma will inbound it. Into Ainsworth, hands it off to the curler. That's Joldersma. To Toby Wolcock with 15 on the shot clock. To Knipe, top of the key. Back to Wolcock. Side steps right side. Picks up his dribble. Along the baseline, gets it into Knipe. Knipe back out to Wolcock. 3-ball from him is just a little strong. Ainsworth gets the offensive rebound. Powers it back up and in. Corey Ainsworth doing yeoman's work down low. He has 14, leads back up to 9. 5 minutes into the second half. Here's Szymanski. Passes up the 3 look. Behind the back dribble. Muscles his way into the paint, kicks it back out. Now it's straight away to Fruin. Fruin now a jump stop. Rises up. No. Wrestled for. And they're going to call a foul, I believe, against... They're going to call it against Summerfield, not Knipe. And it'll stay with Calvin. That's the 3rd team foul of this second half for Cornerstone. Calvin has not committed a foul yet in this half. Szymanski again will inbound it. Lofts it in to Ketchy. To Warners. Warners looking around with a shoulder shake, a dribble drive, a kick out. Straight away on the dribble drive is Sensenig. His layup is blocked, but they're going to call a foul down low. Joldersma thought he had all ball, but there might have been some body contact down low. That might be a tough one to take. Any kind of body contact that alters the, I guess you could say, body positioning of the would-be shooter, they're going to call it. And going to the line here for Calvin is Eli Sensenig. And he gets the first free throw to drop. I believe this is just the third and fourth free throw attempts for Calvin in this game so far. Game number 2 to wrap up the weekend is coming up after this one. Aquinas against Hope. Second free throw is also good. Gets it back down to 7. Lead's kind of been teeter-tottering back and forth between 11 and 7 points here in the second half. Cornerstone breaking the pressure. Almost an over and back. Summerfield gets to Knight, back to Summerfield. Hunches over with the ball, cradles it. Starting to see a little bit more energy here. Here's the backdoor cutter. Joldersma flushes it down on the feed from Summerfield. I said it once, and I'll say it numerous times again. Jack Joldersma, he's a pogo stick. Wow. Gets the lead back up to 9. Now a feed down low. Here's Morrison backing down Wolcock. Turnaround jumper, he rattles it home. Fading away as well down low. Gets it back down to 7. 14 minutes to go. Summerfield to Knipe to Wolcock. To Knipe on the baseline. One-on-one with Warners. Trying to back him down. Picks up his dribble. Turns around. Fades away. And he rattles it home beautifully over Emmett Warners. Leads back up to 9 again. Like I said, it's been seesawing back and forth between 7 and 11 points. Here's Warners now. Straight away. Now getting the feed is Sensenig to Egakeza. To Morrison, to Warners, trying to bulldoze his way through Knipe, and I think he traveled. Yes, he did. Good defensive positioning down low there by Knipe, and Warners slipped and couldn't keep his pivot foot down. That's a close one, and we're going to get a timeout here by Coach Sala Calvin. He's none too pleased with the recent developments of the officiating. Full timeout. And let's step aside for a quick break here from Hope College. 53-44 Cornerstone on top. Back after this.
You're not just saying, wow, you came in, thanks for coming in, and you know, this is what your investment did. It's so much more than that. There's so much more going on in their lives than just these investments, and it's good to understand that totality so that you can say, well, you know, I know there's a better way of doing this, or I have a resource. I know, you know, there's some other resources that we can help you with here. So it's not just financial planning. It's serving people. It's serving people and loving on people, and that's very joyful.
Welcome back live to DeVos Fieldhouse on this Saturday evening. Brian Fongers with you as we're nearing the midway point of the second half in game number 1 of night number 2. The Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Classic. Cornerstone and Calvin in game number 1 here. Cornerstone with a 9-point lead, 53-44. The Knights at Calvin just burned a timeout. They still have 3 left. Cornerstone has 5. It'll be Cornerstone basketball after the recent turnover from Calvin University. Joldersma, Summerfield, Rodriguez, Knipe, and Wolcock out there for Cornerstone. They'll be countered with Sensenig. It's like Warners, Fruin, Morrison, and Ketchy out there for Calvin. Twirling is Joldersma. Again, there's the cutter on the back door. That's Rodriguez. Couldn't get a clean look. Now it's fed back to Wolcock. 10 on the shot clock to Summerfield to Knipe. Knipe whips a pass. Summerfield rises for the straightaway 3. That's short. Rebound on the weak side is by Ketchy, and now the officials are starting to tighten things up a little bit. Coach Elders doesn't like that. That's 5 team fouls already in the second half against Cornerstone, none by Calvin. And you know when the foul situation gets very lopsided, very one-sided, the coach that is getting all the fouls called against him is going to plead his case saying, hey, even it up a little bit. We'll see if that happens. That's 2 personals against Joldersma of Cornerstone. On the handoff, here's Sensenig now, plowing his way into the paint. Back out it goes to Warners. Sensenig, baseline drive now. Morrison, kick opposite. Good ball movement here as it's swung over. A ball fake, a dribble drive, double clutch layup is no good by Warners, but he draws a foul and he'll get a couple of free throws. That's now 16 fouls. The next one committed by Cornerstone puts Calvin in the 1-and-1 bonus already. That's 3 personals against Jack Joldersma. So you have him and Drew Knickerbocker with 3 personals for Cornerstone. So the lefty Warner's back at the charity stripe again for Calvin as he makes the first of 2. It's a very experienced Calvin group. You have Szymanski, Fruin, Morrison, Warners, all graduate students taking advantage of that extra year of eligibility due to the COVID pandemic. All those players that I mentioned, starters as well, as Warner's gets them both. And it's back down to 7, 53-46. The Knights hanging around here. Biggest lead of the night for Cornerstone has been 13. Here's Summerfield on the wing. To Knight, back to Summerfield with a two-man game. A jump pass over to Knight. There's the baseline jumper, and it's nothing but net. Carter Knight can do more than just shoot the triple. When he's clicking, he can knock down those little baby jumpers. And now back the other way. Szymanski's able to lay it up and in on the weak side, and teams exchange buckets, back down to 7. 8 minutes have elapsed here in the second half. Almost a turnover. On the handoff, here's Rodriguez. Goes baseline. Out to Summerfield. Kick opposite for his three ball. That's short. Warner's with the rebound and the run out for Calvin. Jogs ahead. Sizing up Summerfield. Drifts back. Over to Fruin. Skip pass over to Bolt. Into the mid post. Back out it goes. Szymanski fakes the handoff. Squares up. Needs to get rid of it and does to Fruin. Into the corner left side for a baseline drive. Floating it up there, no, but drawing a foul is Bolt against Knight. 2 more free throws for Calvin. Give them credit. They are taking advantage of the foul situation for Cornerstone. 11.5 to go in this one. It'll be Marcus Bolt to the free throw line, a sophomore out of Wheaton, Illinois. First free throw is up and nothing but net, and it's down to 6. Ainsworth in for Knight for Cornerstone. One more coming up here for the sophomore. Good rotation, but that's short. Knickerbocker with an easy rebound for Cornerstone. Stays a half a dozen lead here for the Golden Eagles. Here's Wolcock now. He's caught in a phone booth, has to get it to Knickerbocker, and he does. Straight away is Knickerbocker. Lowers the shoulder, picks up his dribble over to Rodriguez. Gets the use of a screen out into the left corner. Summerfield now. Steps back, passes up the jumper over to Knickerbocker for a right wing high arcing three that crawls off the front of the rim. No. Calvin with a rebound with a chance to get it down to 4, maybe 3. Here's a transition line drive 3 that's short by Morrison, and Cornerstone with a weak side rebound. Here's Rodriguez now coast to coast. Euro steps, and they're going to call a foul. They wanted the jump ball, did the Knights, but I believe they're going to call a foul against the Knights. That's their first of this second half. And Rodriguez may have gotten the benefit of a call. Hard to see from the replay angle if that was all ball or not. So here's the lefty Rodriguez for 2 free throws. He gets the first to go. It's up to 11 now in the evening. Coming up on the halfway point of the second half. Rodriguez for one more, gets them both. Makes it 57-49, Golden Eagles on top. Rodriguez with a dozen, Ainsworth leading the way for Cornerstone with 14. With the ball now for the Knights is Ketchy. Ketchy between the circles to Fruin. Bounce feed into the mid post. Warner squares up, goes baseline, tried to muscle it over a double team, and that's blocked out of bounds by Ainsworth with 11 on the shot clock. 10.5 to go in this one. Agakeza now slaps the ball on the inbound on the back door. There's Warner's backing down Knickerbocker. Hooks it up there. No. Left it short off the front of the rim, and Knickerbocker with a rebound. Here's Rodriguez now quickly into the front court to the trailer Knickerbocker. Hands it off. Rollinson roughed up a little bit. No turnover. Gets it over to Knickerbocker, and we got a foul down low. Now you're going to start to see maybe the foul situation even up a little bit. That's only 2 team fouls against Calvin in this half.
That is his third.
It's 3 personal fouls against Ketchy. Baseline out of bounds here. Here's Wolcock into Rodriguez. Rodriguez gets the screen from Ainsworth. Into the paint, tried to feed it opposite block, and it's out of the reach of Ainsworth and turned over. Coach Elders didn't like that from his senior leader. And it stays an 8-point Cornerstone lead. And it wasn't deflected on the replay. Ainsworth thought it was, but sometimes it's a game of inches. Straight lining ahead is Morrison. Over to Szymanski. Catchy. Morrison as they utilize the right side of the floor now to the left side to Fruin. Fruin steps back with a great nifty crossover. He missed the jumper at the free throw line. Offensive rebound. Now it's over to the right corner. Szymanski's three swirls in and out, no good. Egekeza skies to the offensive rebound, puts it back up, no. And Ainsworth rips the ball away through traffic for Cornerstone. Crisis averted there for the Golden Eagles. Point blank opportunities for Calvin. They couldn't get it to go. Rodriguez now, between the legs dribble, crosses over on Egekeza. Out to Rowlandson. Rowlandson now through the traffic. Nobody. Weak side for Calvin, and an easy layup for the freshman. Leads back up to 10. Fruin now. Turns the corner, a jump stop. Hooks it up there. No. Ainsworth another rebound to Woolcock. Woolcock launches it ahead. Saved by Knickerbocker out to Rowlandson. Rowlandson, Woolcock, Rodriguez. Left corner three. In and out, no good. Ainsworth fights for the offensive rebound, gets it. And as a result of his hustle, he's going to get a foul called in favor of him. It's going to be against Calvin, and now the Knights are none too pleased with the recent foul situation. Like I said, water finds its level at some point. That's 4 personals against Catchy. And Calvin's going to burn a timeout with 9 minutes to go. Keep it here and let you know that the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Golf Classic to benefit GR8 Sports Great Kids is August 22nd at Thousand Oaks Golf Club. Proceeds from the event help fund kindergarten through 8th grade sports in Grand Rapids Public Schools. Various player and sponsorship opportunities are available. To learn more about the event, visit the Hall of Fame's website at grshof.com or check out their Facebook page. The Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Classic is brought to you by Lighthouse, which was recently awarded as a Best and Brightest in Wellness winner for their holistic approach in helping employers build valuable and cost-effective wellness strategies. They are proud to have received this honor for the 2nd consecutive year. Congratulations on a job well done. 9:01 to go in this one. 10-point Golden Eagles lead. Be Cornerstone basketball after the timeout. Calvin only has 2 timeouts left in their pocket. Leading the way for Calvin so far is Thad Szymanski. 15 points. Might be the only Knight in double figure scoring right now. Cornerstone has a couple. Corey Ainsworth with 14. Christian Rodriguez with 12. Again, the foul situation. Calvin is in the 1-on-1 bonus situation. Cornerstone has committed 7. But Calvin still needs to commit a few fouls before Cornerstone is put in the bonus situation. They only have 3 team fouls. First 7 in this second half were called against Cornerstone, the last 3 against Calvin. So like I said, water sometimes eventually finds its level when it comes to the foul situation. So after the timeout, Strube will inbound it for the Golden Eagles. Holds it into Knickerbocker. Down low immediately to Ainsworth. Rip it through a double team with a drop step. Hooks it up and in. Again, got the soft touch off the connector. Leads back up to a dozen. 61-49 Cornerstone. Ainsworth with 16 now. Here's Szymanski now. Drifts to the left corner. Over to Warners. Warners. One-hand feed, right side to Morrison, back to Warner, straight away a ball fake, a dribble drive, lowers the shoulder, buffaloes his way in, layup is good, and he's fouled. Gets it back down to 10, and Warners will get a couple of free throws coming up. It's 2 on Ainsworth. So Warner's back to the free throw line here for Calvin. Free throw is up and good. Gets it back down to 9. But Calvin can't seem to get this game down to a 1-possession game. They've gotten it down to, I believe, as minimal as 5. Here's Rowlandson now. And a bump and a foul against Szymanski. Like I said, the foul situation is eventually going to even itself out. Whether you're a Calvin or a Cornerstone fan, like I said, it always evens things out. They actually called that against Warners. Must have been off the ball. That's his 3rd. Inbound here to Rodriguez. Reverse pivot away from the traffic. Fades back out looking to feed Ainsworth. He'll just decide to put up the 3 ball, and it's no good. Rowlandson off its rebound. Puts it back up and in. Johnny on the spot. There was Rowlandson. Leads back up to 11. 8 minutes to go. A ball fake from Warners. A dribble drive out to Egekeza. Turns the corner. Lays it up. Yes, and he's fouled. Well, Calvin's getting to the free throw line. Give them credit. And Uchenna Egekeza will get one free throw, I should say, as the third personal has been committed by Corey Ainsworth. Calvin definitely has some athletes on this team. Not very big, but they've got athletes. Egekeza's free throw, kind of a herky-jerky release, and it's strong. Still a 9-point Cornerstone lead with under 8 to go. Crossover, Rodriguez hesitates, tries to finger roll it up there. It's swatted out of bounds by Egekeza. Knipe will come in for Ainsworth for Cornerstone. Under 8 to go in this one. Calvin trying to hang around. Trying to steal one late here if they can. A bounce feed into Knipe. Hands it off to Struby. Good look at a right corner three, and he got it to go. Orange ball in the side pocket for Johnny Struby, and it's back up to a dozen. Calvin back the other way. Warner's right through the traffic. Missed the running layup, but he's fouled. Cornerstone having a tough time there on the dribble drives into the paint of late. And a couple of free throws are coming up here for Emmett Warner's once again. And Calvin now will be in the double bonus situation for the rest of regulation. That's the 10th team foul against the Golden Eagles. Warner's got the first free throw to coax over the front of the rim and dance home. Calvin in that first half only had a couple of free throws, but they've gotten to the free throw line with frequency in this second half. Second free throw around the world and out. Cornerstone with a rebound. They break the pressure. Rodriguez down low to Knight. Back to Rodriguez. Slips through his hands. Saved by Struby. Back out to Rodriguez. Rodriguez slithers his way into the paint. Tried to go into the opposite block, and it's turned over. Out of the reach of either Struby or Knight down low. And Calvin gets the turnover, and they will get the possession down by 11. Egekeza now. Szymanski stops top of the key. Over to Warner's. Throws up the three ball, and that rattles in and out, no good. A couple of tough luck opportunities there missed by Warner's. Cornerstone with a rebound and a step-in steal now by Egekeza. He's in the clear, and he's going to jam it down with two hands. Gets it down to 9. Egekeza with the turnover for a touchdown, as many basketball coaches call it. Back down to 9, and we get a bump and a foul. Well away from the basket against Alec Fruin. Not sure if Coach Elders wanted to call a timeout, but have a silly foul committed there by Fruin. It's his third, team 5th. They still have one more to give before Cornerstone is in any kind of bonus situation. Knipe on the inbound from Rollinson, hands it off. Shoulder shake, a baseline drive. Rodriguez back out to Knipe for a contested three, and he gets it to go over Warner's. Carter Knipe, the sharpshooter, gets it to drop. Lead back up to a dozen. Now quickly back the other way is Morrison. Transition jumper. Gets the soft touch over the front of the rim, and it goes. Back down to 10. Cornerstone has matched their point total from last night against Hope. Knickerbocker, head fake. Struby, left side, with a head fake of his own. Doesn't launch. Now on the dribble drive, over now for a three ball by Rollinson. That's strong. Rebound collected by Warner's of Calvin. Down to 6 to go. Morrison now hesitates, lowers the shoulder, scoops it up and in around Knickerbocker. Gets it down to 8 with 6:01 left to be exact, and another timeout here by Calvin. They'll only have one left after this timeout is used, a full timeout, so let's take a quick break. We're back from DeVos Fieldhouse right after this. Cornerstone on top by 8 as you're listening live to the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Classic.
It's no secret. The best way to learn about Hope College is to spend time on our campus. The Hope admissions team invites you to a personalized visit experience you won't forget. Located in downtown Holland, Michigan, our historic campus is close to shopping and dining and just 10 minutes from Lake Michigan. We invite you to check out our campus tour options or sign up for an online tour with the Hope admissions office. There's never been a better time to see Hope College. Visit us at hope.edu/admissions.
Back here live from DeVos Fieldhouse on the campus of Hope College. Brian Fongers with you. 6 minutes to go here in game number 1 of night number 2 of the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Classic. Cornerstone taking on Calvin University, and it's the Golden Eagles of Cornerstone on top by 8. Calvin just utilized their second to last timeout. It will be Cornerstone basketball after the reset bucket made by Calvin. They now have 3 players in double-figure scoring. Cornerstone does as well. See if Calvin applies any full court pressure after the timeout utilized by Coach Saul. Stay tuned. Game number 2 is coming up. The host school, Hope College, taking on the Saints of Aquinas College. Strube will inbound it here to Rodriguez. A little token pressure by Egekeza as he fades back into the front court. Going to come down to execution, which team can execute in the half court here in the final moments. Here's Rodriguez now hesitating to the corner to Joldersma, and a miscommunication on the pass to Strube. Strube wanted to cut. Joldersma thought pass, and it's turned over. Calvin gets the stop and the basketball. Here's Warners with the ball over to Szymanski. Szymanski to Warners in the mid-post, one-on-one with Knipe. Backing down Knipe. Spins to the baseline. Floater is blocked, but they're going to call Knipe with the foul. And a couple of free throws coming up here for Warners.
Cornerstone foul number 15.
That's 2 on Knipe. And again, Emmett Warner's back to the charity stripe for Calvin. First free throw from Warners is nothing but net. Coach Elders didn't like the call, telling the officiating crew they bailed him out. Down to a 7-point game again. Calvin with a chance to get it down to 2 possessions. Second free throw is strong, and skying for the rebound and snatching it down with one hand is Joldersma Cornerstone. They'll press, does Calvin. Cornerstone breaks it. Joldersma speeds ahead of the opposite block for the alley-oop and laying it up and in nicely is Carter Knipe. Back up to a 9-point game. Coming up on 5 to go, here's Warners to Egekeza with a jab step, a dribble drive around Strube for an easy layup. Again, no weak side defense there from Cornerstone. It's down to 7. Rodriguez now gets the feed into the front court, whips pass over to Woolcock, overhead toss top of the key to Knipe, to Strube. Strube, Woolcock down low to Knipe, one-on-one. On the skip pass nicely, finds Strube for 3, and he gets it to go on the feed from Carter Knipe. Oh my, Coach Saul rips off his jacket and flings it into the bench. And that's a backbreaker there, gets it back up to 10. Here's Warners now. Sidestepping to the top of the key. Almost a step-in steal by Joldersma. He's already got a dunk tonight. Morrison, Egekeza to Warners. One-on-one with Joldersma. 10 on the shot clock. Trying to back him down. Picks up his dribble. Feeds it to Morrison. Got to let it go, and he does over Knipe, and he airballs it out of bounds. Good defense by Cornerstone. And the situation for Calvin, they're down 10, and they only have 1 timeout left to use. Cornerstone has a bevy of them. 4:16 to go. Time is of the essence here for Calvin. Cornerstone on top by double figures. No pressure here from the Knights, as Rodriguez will shuffle into the front court straight away. One-hand feed over to Knipe. Knipe stops at the right elbow. Feeds it to Woolcock on a little weave action on a pick and pop. Finds Knipe for 3. Skirts the front of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Calvin. Under 4 to go. But turning it over there is Fruin to Woolcock. Numbers against him. He'll regroup. Get it to Rodriguez and slow it down and melt some more time away. Rodriguez hesitates to the left side. Sizing up the defender. That's catchy. Oh, what a great drop step, and he's able to scoop it up and in. Reverse pivot, drop step, ball game right there for Christian Rodriguez. Gets it up to 12 with 3.5 to go. Here's Fruin, down low to Egekeza, backing down Rodriguez. Is able to lean in on the baseline and get it to go from an acute angle. Gets it down to 10. Calvin needs stops, though. Joldersma dribbling around, right side of the floor, twirling, spinning to the baseline. No travel on the jump stop. Play goes on as Summerfield gets the ball. Down to 3 to go. Summerfield over to Rodriguez, left wing. He'll launch for 3 and rattle it home over Egekeza. Gets it back up to 13. Tied for their biggest lead of the evening. Rodriguez with a quiet 17, but very effective. Egekeza on the kick out. Fruin now to the free throw line. Szymanski, a ball fake. Dribbles around to the right side. Goes to the baseline. Spins right through a double team. Reverses it up and in. Pretty move there by Thad Szymanski. And Coach Saul is going to burn his last timeout. 11-point Cornerstone lead, 79-68 with 2:36 to go. As Szymanski has 17 points of his own. It is a full timeout. So let's take a quick timeout as well. We're back from DeVos Fieldhouse on the campus of Hope College. Right after this, as you're listening to the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Classic. Hey fans, the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Classic is brought to you by Lighthouse, which was recently awarded as a Best and Brightest in Wellness a winner for their holistic approach in helping employers build valuable and cost-effective wellness strategies. They are proud to have reached this honor for the second consecutive year. Congratulations on a job well done. Michigan Auto Reform is leaving thousands of Michigan drivers confused and underinsured. The team at Lighthouse is here to help. That's Lighthouse. Drive confidently. Back here live on the campus of Hope College, DeVos Fieldhouse specifically. Brian Fonger's here. 2:16 to go in game number 1 of night 2 of the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Classic. Cornerstone on top of Calvin, 79-68. And Calvin is without timeouts. They have used them all. Cornerstone still has a handful. It'll be Cornerstone basketball after a recently made bucket by Calvin. Calvin still has one more foul to give before Cornerstone is in the bonus. They'll press. 1-2-2. Pressure. They break it. Woolcock saves it along the sideline in the front court. He'll dribble back out of pressure as Calvin will try and blitz when necessary, but Cornerstone is going to bleed some clock. Rodriguez being hounded by Morrison to Woolcock to Knipe. 10 on the shot clock. Knipe tries to feed it down low. It's deflected. Loose on the deck. Woolcock sliding on the deck is able to save it to Rodriguez. 5 on the shot clock. Rodriguez to left elbow. Jumper is blocked from behind. Coming up on 2 minutes to go. Calvin racing back the other way. Here's Morrison to the trailer. Fruin to Warner's, and Warner's traveled on the jump stop. Just that little hesitation. He couldn't collect his feet in time, and that's a costly turnover for the Knights. With exactly 2 minutes left. And again, they'll pressure. Calvin Faithful wanted a push off on Rodriguez on the inbounds. Nothing doing. We play on. Rodriguez dribbling around, a one-hand toss left side. Knickerbocker. Knickerbocker, a bounce feed top of the key to Knight. Back to Knickerbocker, 15 on the shot clock. Over to Rodriguez, almost a step and steal by Egekeza. Rodriguez gets it, left side of the alley. Kick opposite. Knickerbocker, a head fake, steps back to Rodriguez, who's wide open for a three, and he got it. That might do it right there. A 14-point lead for Cornerstone on the three ball by Christian Rodriguez. They left him unaccounted for. He's got 20. 89 seconds to go. And we got a whistle and a stoppage as Szymanski's going to come in for Calvin. Biggest lead of the night for Cornerstone. That might put it away here. On the inbound, Fruin's just going to let it roll as far as he can before he scoops it up. Angles left side with a hesitation dribble. Here's Warner's with it now. Over on the wing to Morrison, goes baseline through the double team, and he lays it up and in. Right through Knickerbocker and Summerfield he went. 12-point game. Coach Saul is not going to tell his players to foul, so if you're Cornerstone, you let this one wane away here as we're coming up on a minute. Rodriguez, a bounce feed into Ainsworth. Size mismatch with Egekeza. Ainsworth backs him down. Ball's ripped out of his hands. Out of bounds. It'll stay with Cornerstone, 11 on the shot clock. So it's looking like both teams actually going to call a reach and foul against Fruin. That's the 6th team foul. That's his 4th, Fruin's. Looks like both teams are going to finish 1-1 in the Hall of Fame Classic this weekend. Knickerbocker looking to get it in, finds Ainsworth on the cut, and he gets the layup to go, fading away, drawing contact, and he'll go to the line to try and complete the three-point play. That'll definitely do it. 84-70, Cornerstone on top. Great inbound set piece there. 55 seconds to go. A game effort from Calvin, but Cornerstone was able to keep their lead in the second half. It got down to as little as 5 points, but the lead is now at 15, their biggest of the night after the made free throw. Here's Egakeza to Warner's, straightaway three off to the right. Rebounded by Knight to Rodriguez. Calvin calls off the Dogs. That might do it here tonight. But a 15 to 16 second differential here as Rodriguez right through the traffic, reverses it up and in beautifully. 87-70, 30 seconds to go. On the drive quickly is Morrison. He'll reverse it up and in on the baseline. Shot clock is off and Cornerstone can melt the time away. No fouls will be committed, and that's going to do it here for game one. Stay tuned for game number two as Aquinas and Hope will tangle with one another to wrap up this weekend. But our final score in game number one of night number two of the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Classic, Cornerstone bounces back. They'll improve to 9-3 on the season with an 87-72 victory over the Knights of Calvin. Calvin's going to drop to 5-2 overall on the season. Both teams finish 1-1 on the weekend, and Cornerstone, after exchanging leads back and forth early in the basketball game, was able to get a sizable lead of 13 in the first half. Calvin was able to get it down to 5 in the beginning moments of the second half, but Cornerstone was able to extend the lead and carry it the rest of the evening. So again, our final score in game number one, Cornerstone 87, Calvin 72. Cornerstone now 9-3 overall. Calvin drops to 5-2. You've been listening live to game one of the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Classic. I'm Brian Fonger saying thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned again for game number two as the host school, Hope College, will entertain the Saints of Aquinas College. Tip-off will be coming in about a half hour or so as they are going to induct the 2021 Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame class here coming up. So I'm Brian Fonger saying thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned in about a half hour for game number two. And we thank you for tuning in and enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would, please direct your attention to half court where we recognize the Sports Hall of Fame alternate team. Mark Kibble, the chair of the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame, will present all tournament trophies to each honoree. First, from Calvin University, number 14, Thad Szymanski.
Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah.
From Cornerstone University, number 15, Carter Knight. And from Cornerstone University, number 30, Corey Ainsworth.
The mountain top, walk on water, I got power, feel so royal. 1 second, I'ma strike for you, diamond, platinum, no more.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause to these members of the 2021 Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame All-Tournament Team.
You're looking at the king of the jungle now. Stronger than ever, can't hold me down. 100 miles gunning from the pitch's bow. Straight game face, it's game day. See me running through the crowd, feeling melee. No trick plays, I'm Bill Gates. Take a genius to understand me.
Sometimes I get a good feeling.